Peace and love collective. Sending you guys nothing but love, peace, happiness, and prosperity. Send some of that back. Looking for. Okay, it's cool. What's going on, collective? I hope all is well with you guys. I'm gonna give y'all a quick pull. Cause I gotta start my day. All right. Yeah. I'm gonna give y'all a quick pull, collective. I was getting different downloads. Like I'm picking up like creative spark energy, collective. Okay. Y'all had heard of the Netflix and chill, right? But something just kind of, I was getting different downloads while I was cleaning and stuff. Y'all know, like when you driving and cleaning and doing certain things, for me, it give me most of my downloads and meditation. But I just was like, I kept hearing Netflix and chill and build. Okay. So it took me to different moments in my entrepreneurial journey. Y'all, my words like lately been all mixed up. Like I just like whatever. But yeah, so I got chill and build, all right? But within that, and y'all know I take lessons out of everything. And no, this channel is just like not negative. This channel pretty much put you up on certain things you probably didn't notice within your circle, your people you be around, different things like that. Or, if you was led to the message, the Most High, wanted you to know certain things. So I was thinking about that when I first started off, and I know y'all know like what. Okay, the entrepreneurial spirit been in me for forever. Like since I was a little girl with Barbies. I used to, with the little Barbie, y'all know like the Barbie truck when you get in and drive. People used to have to pay me. I used to pay to get in my Barbie truck. I was Uber back then. Uber took that from me. But look, I just always had this entrepreneurial energy, right? And that was so funny because I just had a flashback. Yeah, I used to pay all the little girls. It's like, you got to give me $1. I ain't to ride in my, what did they call it when you got in the truck and, oh my God, what is on the tip of my tongue? But it'll come back to me. But yeah, I always had this entrepreneurial energy. And you can have a whole lot of ideas, but it's only like a handful of people that really match that energy and know where you coming from. You get what I'm saying? Like that creative energy. I feel like I always had that. It's just like you can have a whole lot of ideas, but you may not have the resources or the right people in your environment or energy, to help you and push certain things forward. So as I got older and working, you work your 9 to 5 like me. I've never been a person that I always business. But I looked at on the other side of certain things, like working for people, helping people build their business, and you got certain things embedded in you. So anywhere that I ever worked, I always was working on something I was building for myself, in the back end. I always, I always kept that in my, in my whole makeup of getting it how I live. I work and I'm like, okay, I always had a hustle on the side, in the upright. I always done that. So, as time went by, certain people, it's only a handful of people through my journey that really seen certain things that I wanted to do, and they like, oh, okay. But a whole lot of that, as time went by and things start changing, and when certain things work out for you, that opens the door to jealousy and envy. Because I don't think, sometimes it don't be coming from I I was watching this one show last night, and it was like a school girls. It's on Netflix or something, and you know, social media done changed a whole lot of things. Social media done opened the doors for people, and you know, social media has opened the doors to people lower vibrational energy too. Okay, it's like the dopamine. So, with that being said, when I first stepped out into entrepreneurship, I don't think people really believed in, you know, me. They like, oh, what you, girl, bad, whatever. She keeps talking. You know, I used to can help people, tell people certain things. But I guess people was like, oh, you know, they look at success, oh, who got the biggest house, who got the biggest car. They don't look at success being peace. You know, you granted peace that you don't have to get up and take from your children every day and, you know, punching somebody else's clock. They don't look at at you being successful just by, if it's you replacing, you getting paid $20 an hour, you go find a business that you getting $30 off of one item. That's replacing those $20 from that whole hour you took from your family. They don't look at it like that, like freedom and peace. I always looked at it like that. You get what I'm saying? Because, and I'm not knocking nobody that's working, because every business need people to, you know, for it to succeed. That's why this you know, that's why robots and certain things is replacing certain occupations. You know, because you got to look at like an hour, you know, you getting paid $20 an hour, and then there's somebody that can go within that hour, go make $100,000 within that hour. You know, you got to look at certain things like that. I always looked at things different, like replacement. Oh, if I can, you know, start something and I can replace that hour to get that hour back with my family, you know, stuff like that. I looked at certain things differently. You know, a whole lot of things that I came up with, and I'm gonna get to the story. You know, how you come up with a whole, when you just got this certain energy about yourself, and when you tapped in, you know, you see things different. That's a part of your awakening too, you know. So I used to have different ideas and certain things, but I always wanted somebody else to do it with me, you know. And when I stopped thinking like that and just jumped out and did certain things on my own, certain things worked. When I first left my first job, and any job that I be at, I stayed there. I'm not like no serial employee. You know what I'm saying? I stay there. I try to build that company. I built people company. I don't work jobs that I know that I was overqualified. You know what I'm saying? Overqualified, but I still didn't have that ego or anything. I didn't have a problem with, oh, okay, I got to take leadership. Leadership is within me. I'm a Leo, and I'm a life path 1. You know what I'm saying? So, or is it 1 or 10? You know, whichever way. Y'all know how I go in there, whatever. But it's leadership. Okay. So, I always had leadership in me. I never was so cocky that I couldn't take instructions and certain things from other people. No, but I always looked at it like, how can I make this place better? And by me, you know, having that certain energy, people get intimidated because they feel like you're coming to try. You know what I'm saying? I done had employers that had, you know, they had to make sure, you know, that they in charge type energy and stuff like that. And I'm just sitting back like, I don't, you know, it don't matter the level, you know, what my business did, what my business didn't do. I had that experience to be that person on the other end of things. You get what I'm saying? So, entrepreneurship, people, you know, certain people will punch everybody else clock. And this is how, you know, working, you know, salute. You get what I'm saying? To family businesses, to businesses, you know, people that run business and their family is all, y'all all on one page. That's how it's supposed to be. You get what I'm saying? But that's not for everybody. You know, it depends on what you're doing. And friends, you know, my lessons, like I said, you guys, I do business classes too. I'm getting everything, you know, back in order. Website is going to be like one-stop shop. Y'all going to love it, y'all. You know, I've been working on certain things. And me, I do a whole lot of things myself. That's probably another issue with me. Like, I'm taking lessons because I took all the lessons from my first business, and that business was standing for like a decade or so, you know? So I'm taking lessons. Things change. We up against AI. We got tech. You know, things changing for the better and some changing for the worse. It depends on what field you're in. So, you know, I've noticed some things. Like when I was, you know, I'm not gonna say everybody, but a whole lot of people didn't believe in it until they seen storefronts and they seen the come up off of it. You know, I just feel like, have faith in a person when they in that dream state, because when it come into reality, you really earned your spot by saying that you was there and you believed in that person's dreams. It don't matter if it fall or if it rise, but you were there. You was 100. Because that person always go, I don't care how small it is. I don't care how big it is. That's like your child. If your child say, oh, mom, dad, I want to do this, you're not going to just knock them down. It don't matter if it work or it don't. You're going to be their number one supporter. If you're the only person in the room clapping, I'm going to clap. I don't care what it is. For the ones I really rock with, I don't care if motherfuckers throwing tomatoes, all type of thing when they hop up there. I'm going to be the first one. They're going to be like, oh, this one crazy. Go, yeah. You get what I'm saying? That's how it's supposed to be. But people don't rock like that. They let they egos get inside. Maybe something popped off for you and you was able to go on vacation. Take your family on vacation. People be counting your pockets. They like, oh, they traveling too much. That ain't their house. That's an Airbnb. That ain't. But this is, look, you guys, when I say I went up against all of this, just off the strength of trying to build something on the upright for me and my family, I got downplayed. I wasn't, and that's the thing. It made me stronger. It ain't no hard feelings. I just know who to rock with, and I know who to push to the side. It was a lesson. I take lessons. Okay? I take out of messiness, I get the message. Okay? I don't take L's. I take lessons, baby. Because I'm the teacher of my own life. So I can take a lesson out of anything. But, you know, people like, oh, why they there? You don't know why that person was there. In my time of expansion, that's when the devil creeped in and tried to demolish my business. Families start dying, start losing friends, people talking about you behind your back, people stealing from you. You give people a job, they go use your account numbers and shit. Things like that. But when you go for a downfall because you opening the door for everybody, you like, oh, yeah, you know, you got a good heart. People sit back, yeah, I told you one gonna last because they thought they was this. No. Everybody, I was, you know, I stroll. And I had to stop strolling because that shows how much a hater that I'm not. Because half of the time when I like people's stuff, I don't even go to their profile. I just might see it on the Explorer and I might like it. And then I had to be careful with that because when I go back to the profile don't hold the morals that I would even deal with. And being an entrepreneur, you got to be careful with that. You know, it ain't about, you know, you liking something, somebody said some real stuff, but then when you go on their page, you get what I'm saying? They talking about they belittle and everything. That was just something that they, you know. So I had to be real careful with that too, because sometimes you could be guilty by association. Y'all know how whatever they say. But sometimes, you know, you could take a downfall because people will be looking at you like that. That's why when I look like social media, I try to keep it now, the lesson that I learned, try to keep it clear and clean as possible. I use social media as a tool for business now. I don't use social media as a tool to reconnect with nobody, because the realest way you can connect with me, my phone, call me person to person, because you get two different people from social media and you get what I'm saying in real life. I ain't got to, it's all right, contact, oh, okay, yeah, I don't have your number. That's good. You get what I'm saying? That's the way you can connect. But I don't keep up with people's personal life on social media because it's fabricated. But I do try to keep up and support people's businesses off of social media. I had to learn how to divide business and personal, because people try to take your business personal. No, my business is to help me expand. Personal, we can keep in contact or whatever. That's why you got to know the difference. Don't mix business with pleasure. Pleasure sometimes sits on personal. So I took lessons out of a whole lot of things. You know, people see me in the street. Hey, ooh. Look, you've been sitting on my social sites for how many years? Stop acting like I was so hard to connect with. You just strolled past because you got that ball in your throat. Cause that congratulations wasn't genuine. And then the more I started to expand, people, why you watching my pockets? I never tried to be nothing that I'm not. I never tried to be nothing that I wasn't. Me, and it's just a chat time, you guys. And I'm gonna get to the point. I hope, take messages out of the whole thing, whatever. When I first started off, I always travel, you guys. I always loved to travel. But as a young girl, people sat and told me that traveling was expensive. And I'm like, I didn't get a chance to leave out of my city until I got into adult, till I got to my early, my 20, I was 20. I didn't get a chance to go on vacations out of the state, out of the country. I didn't never do that. So when I got the opportunity, and it kind of really hit me hard when I got older, and I looked into travel, and it was like aviation and certain things like that. I looked into certain things, and it kind of hit me because, and I always tell that, like, people be thinking, I don't be bragging, but that one trip can be saving a child's life. My son, I had to, that's when I knew that I was a praying mother. And, because it was a time when my son first started playing football. I had to work. This is why I just sat back and I listened that, I had to really take certain things in, because I gave so many years of my life to other people's company. It was, let me see. Wait a minute, you guys. Let me make sure I'm right. Okay, it was one time. Y'all know how the boys, the little leads, the little pee-wee leads, the little leads, they go out of town. They had state, whatever. And it wasn't that I couldn't go. Like, it wasn't that I couldn't afford to go. But I had to work for somebody. I had to ask somebody else, can I go and make a memory with my child? That ain't add up to me. That's what really, y'all, and I'm getting a little whatever, but it's all coming from a good place. Y'all all gonna, But I just look back, I just sit back and I think about my journey and how far, y'all know I get a little, but I just sit back and think about my journey on how far I done came. And it ain't even all got to be financially. It's just mentally. So I had to ask someone else, can I get time off to go make a memory with my child? That ain't never add up to me. And that I used to go, you know, in the city, you got like, I mean, not, well, it depends on where you're from. I went to places like Cedar Point, little stuff like that. But far as a long distance travel on a plane or certain stuff like that, I didn't get a chance to do that yet. But I always was working. And I had to really check my priorities. Like, wait, hold up. I sent my child. I didn't take away from my son because I couldn't go. I still sent him. I sent him because I never wanted to hold him back from getting out, to, keep him in the box. And everybody, oh, you let him go that far without you and his dad, you let him go that far. People was putting that in my head. I'm sitting here like, y'all, I was shaking. I'm like, oh my God, I let my baby go on this road for the whole day. When I say every negative stuff came through my head, but God had that, and it was that's why I don't knock, nonprofits where they helping children and stuff. It's just, it got to be good people. So I ended up sending my son, I want to say it was to Panama or something like that. It was Panama. And people was just putting so much negativity in me, because they never went nowhere. They stayed in the city. It's people that never even been out of the city. And I'm listening to these folks. I'm listening to them. About to break my child's heart. Because I'm listening to somebody else. So, some say, pack the boy, in which fathers be like, man, you too emotional, But as a mother, I had to just like, oh, what if they don't treat my son right? What if this happened? And, it was just like that memory that I couldn't take. Cause for one, I had to ask somebody, could I get time off? I had to ask somebody, could I get time off? It was just like, I couldn't rock with that, y'all. I couldn't rock with that. After that, I say, oh, I'm leaving this job. And I ain't gonna never have to ask nobody, can I go somewhere with mine? When I say a year after that, I don't know if it was like a year after that or whatever, which way, but a little time after that, I end up getting granted a contract for my business. I said, look at God. And before I made profit, I was just so happy. I'm like, I talked, and my son was so little. This is how I look at, I started this job. My child was a little one. When I end up leaving, he was older. I'm like, whoa. I gave majority, this was like my second family. I gave majority of my life to this place for a little or nothing. Back aches, everything. You get what I'm saying? Headaches and, because I just had that caring heart. I always just been a helper, a giver, But I started noticing different things out of people. That's why I talk big on spirituality and mental illness. Because jealousy can turn into a mental illness for people. Being envious could turn into mental illness for people, depending on who it is. Okay? So I said, and my son was the first one to get on. His father, they traveled as children and stuff like that. But me, I didn't. I used to go like Michigan on the mid, and I probably went up north a couple times, stuff like that. I probably, went to Cedar Point, different things like that. But as far as plane and really a long travel, I never done it. So my son, he came back. He said, Mom, I had a good time. I seen the pictures. I'm like, oh, this is so beautiful. And I always was attracted, pulled towards Florida. I don't know if it was the water, but I always seen Florida, and I never even went to Florida. This is the thing. I like this place. I used to have dreams and certain stuff. I'm like, where am I at? I always and that's why I say, like certain mermaids and stuff like this. Like I always, this was way before I even cared, So when my son had the opportunity to play out of state, I let him go. But it was everything was trying to tell me not to. I'm like, is they gonna treat my son right? Is he in good hands? But his coaches, I trusted them. The one that I let him go with, I trusted them. But it took so much for me, and it hurt it because I had to ask another grown woman, oh man, could I go and make a memory with my child? That's what really lit the fire in my ass to go and start that business. That I didn't make no money the first few years of my business. I was taking on cases just for like volunteer work. After a few years, it picked up. I got contracts. I was like, oh my God, thank you, thank you, thank you. And you know what I did? That's when I got pushed out there far as the business end that, it can happen. It can happen. Then it just opened up different doors to different occupations in my life. So I learned the whole breakdown of travel. Okay? And that's why I be, big. And everything that I have learned within my life, I put into one structure. That's why people may look at me and be like, oh, where I'm from, or judge me off of certain things. But I'm not stupid. I'm far from it. I can walk in any room and switch the energy around. That's just me. Because if I can't be the solution, I'm not going to stick around to be the problem. That's in anything. So I'm like, oh, okay. After that, my business took up. My business, I got more clients, things. So I was like, oh, okay. So my next step was like, I'm going to go do something. I'm not spending no birthday here. I want to go somewhere else. I start each year for my birthday, every other month, I took my son. I just say, I seen the vision. I say, my next doors that I open is going to be in Florida. Okay? For a whole few years, I visit Florida just to see what was the need to the feeling, like what is it, is it enough room here for what I'm trying to do? I studied this place. When I say I study certain things, different counties, different cities in the state. I'm like, I can go here and be straight. I know this I can expand here. I can do it. Okay? So I start, this is what I'm saying, like with social media. Y'all probably go whatever which way, but y'all gonna get the message of what I'm saying. So with social media, I start, wanting, I started uploading more stuff, and I wasn't doing it out of a cocky space. I was doing it I was proud of myself. A whole lot of people had opportunity to travel with their mother, with their father through life. I didn't get that. Like out of state, I didn't get that. So me taking my child somewhere, that shouldn't have put envy or jealousy in nobody's heart. Me taking other people's children somewhere, that little one time could have been saving somebody. There's a whole lot of children that ain't never even seen the outskirts of their own city. I was looking at that. If somebody would have done that for me and gave me a leg up, instead of telling me, oh, a plane ticket costs $20,000 to go to this, I would never tell nobody that. But I started to see how people, as a young child, didn't want to include me. I took the message out of that. That's why when it comes to planes and traveling, my ego will never be too big to hop on a penny flight or on that buddy pass. Will never be too big. Because you never know who life you saving. If somebody wouldn't have told me that traveling was so expensive, I could have saved a whole lot and my life probably would have been different. Because I always was trying to find the roadmap out of certain places. That's why you got to be real careful with that jealous and that envious spirit or disliking people from your own selfish makeup. Then people like, oh, you know, I start telling everybody. I made a nice little money booking people flights. I just charged how much it took. I just put my little end on the back of it. But it wasn't nothing all like that. It's my time. It's my energy I had to put into something. Do you know people had a problem with that? But everybody, this comes with people supporting you, you guys. Every business that I created little stuff. I used to do that on the side. Oh, where you trying to go? Do you mind flying this? Do you mind flying that? They like, no, I just want to go. Broke it down, made my couple dollars, replaced that hour with a couple dollars. People couldn't even handle that. Still came and tried to degrade me. But people can go and make it rain on somebody. And no shade. No shade to women who had to walk that life to do what they had to do. No shade. No judgment here. But me making an extra $25, $15 just by helping, you degrade that, but you will go and blow a bag on somebody, on something that somebody may have to walk with their head down in the long run. That's how I knew the hate was real when it came towards me. If it was anybody else, this is like when it comes to family, certain people. That's why rule number one, entrepreneurship. Your most support gonna come from people who don't know you. Because the ones that know you don't want to see you go. Don't want to see your come up. They invest in your downfall, but they will never invest in your come up. Only a handful. They will sit and pick everything that's wrong. Y'all probably see that. You got 1 million people to throw a party and a drink with, but you ain't got nobody to do business with. I took that message too, out of the messiness. So, as time went by, you guys, you know, I figured out the whole little plane stuff. And I started booking little flights. Because I would say, oh, I'm expanding here. But I think I end up telling the wrong people. And they started preying on my downfall. The first time that I ever, rest in power to my mother, she wasn't perfect, but she was mine. The first time that I had a chance and I called myself trying to build, like do something like that families do, was when I got older with my mother. And that brought joy to my heart that before she died a few years later, but I had a chance to take a vacation with her. I never took a vacation with her. She been other places. She been out of the country, but I never was there. I wanted, and that's what I said. That's why when my mediumship and certain things was activated. My mom died from COVID a few years after. The first vacation that I ever took with her. That was just a memory that I needed, because I never had a chance to do nothing. But the whole thing, I learned, you guys, when I say I can learn lessons, that's why this next journey that I'm on, it's for me. It's for me. I will never make the mistakes that I made in the beginning of my entrepreneur journey. I passed that self-love, self-care journey. I didn't get a chance to take that self-love, self-care journey before my entrepreneur journey. The entrepreneur journey came before the self-care, self-love journey. And that's how I end up getting used. So, entrepreneur journey, self-care journey. Which if the self-care, self-love journey would have came before the entrepreneur journey, which the entrepreneur was always in me. But spirituality opened the self-love, self-care journey because I started to see how people will use you to get what they want. Or to use you or downplay you to feel like they more higher than you. So I started, different doors. I always worked with disabled elders, in the field of helping. My first job was home care. Right out of high school was home care. Yeah. No, actually, yeah, it was children, working with children. Because you guys, I've been working since I was like 13 years old. The little summer jobs. After that, I didn't stop. My first job wasn't, actually, it was like a little summer thing, whatever. But I didn't stop. I was working when we was only getting paid $5. Through the little, what's the name? I never stopped. Because I always wanted to provide for myself. But all through that, I used to look like, so where's the big boss? Where's the CEO? On vacations with their family? Because you're running a business. So I used to look at certain stuff like that. And I took that lesson when I had to ask somebody else, could I go out of state with my child, for my child? That really ate me up. I'm like, oh no. The doors of this business is going to open. And I did. And when that door opened, another door opened. I started, selling travel. Social media hit. People looking in from the outside. And I feel like it comes from, oh, you're having too much fun. Why do you deserve to be on the beach while we clocking somebody else's hours? Oh, she's getting it too easy. Do you know what I went through? Do you know how many funerals I went through? That could have been saved if somebody would have not been in their egos telling you that it took $1 million just to get out of state. I remember the era of losing a friend every fucking year. Maybe if I had the knowledge that I had now, I could have been like, come on, baby, let's go. Let's hop on this flight. Let's go. That's why I push to younger children, see this world. You ain't got to prove to nobody that you tough. You don't. Go see life. It don't matter if you on coach, first class, business class, or buddy pass. If you on a train, if you on a bus, a car, a plane, go see the world. Because that could be saving you. Things happen when you sit in one place and start getting stagnant and trying to build and do certain stuff. Because majority of the time, you got people sitting there that don't believe in you. They want to chill with you, and then we're going back to chilling and billing. A whole lot of people wanted to chill with me, played like they wanted to build with me, but they wanted to build off of me. Because my mind held treasures. And if you sit and talk to me long enough, or listen to me long enough, and your mind is open to certain things, you're gonna hear the gems. So I had a whole lot of fake friends. A whole lot of people used to try to book sessions just to come up off of my ideas and then play it like they came up with it and didn't even say, oh, here go $50 to your travel club for the children, or $50. No, they ain't do that. So it's a big difference with somebody want to chill with you to build with you, and somebody want to chill with you to build off of you. Know the difference. Some people will want to be friends with you, and that's personal, and that's business. Some people want to be friends with you just to build themselves up while they tear you down. Some people want to be cool with you to see where you at, so they can try to run a race. Half of us be in competition that we didn't even know we were in. My peace is success. My free time is success. My self-love time is success. That's success to me. Planting seeds in what I'm building and it's growing. That's succeeding to me. My success may look a fucking mess to you, but it looks like success to me. That be the difference. People don't know how far you came and the shit you had to deal with. They just look at the ending of it. That's why I'm real careful who I call my friend. Because the worst thing is for people to sit there and build themselves up off of trying to break you down. Now, you want lessons on that? Oh, we can go. And I always was just coming from a genuine heart. A whole lot of people want to chill with you, to build with you. They do. And a whole lot of people want to chill with you to build off of you and then go complete the project somewhere else. That's why you stand firm on the foundation that you're building. You got to ask the Most High for discernment. Who sent you and what do you want? Because some people just want to build themselves up off of tearing you down. Bring demolition to your foundation. And that's what I didn't know when I stepped into different studies and different entrepreneur things. That a whole lot of people will build themselves up off of breaking you down. But when you're not easily broken and you take every brick, every stone, every rock, and you continue to build, and you add different materials from here and there, get different tools and resources, when your project is done, it's going to be real hard for a person to come in like the big bad wolf and blow it down. When you take them lessons instead of L's, and you take the message from the mess, when you keep your eyes on your paper, you complete your test. And you end up realizing that everybody was looking on your paper and y'all didn't even have the same assignment. I'm telling you, you guys, don't never let nobody tell you what you can and what you cannot do. It's million and billionaires that came up with some simple shit that you use on a daily. I'm telling you. This world is changing. And you should be changing for the good. And that might consist of changing the people who you deal with, changing the place, changing places. There's a whole lot of people people change faces. They change faces, but they still have that evil ass spirit. You got to ask for discernment. Ask the Creator who sent you. Who sent you? Because I really put, like, don't down me for your come up, and don't harm me for your greed. And I really stand on that. It's okay to chill and build with people, but make sure you on the right team, and people just don't want to chill with you and build off of you and deplete you. There's a whole lot of people come in with competition and depletion, and you don't want to build with nobody like that. I don't care what it is. So many different doors has opened for me, and I don't care how long it takes. I know that me and man gonna be good, regardless of every rock, every brick, every tomato they threw. They gotta catch up with me now. And that's mentally, because I don't let anybody just come into my space to mine my mind, because I got a gold mine. I don't got to deal with gold diggers. Because anything that I choose to do, I know I'm going to succeed at it. So for those who prayed on my downfall through these years, thank you. You was a part of my journey, because I took lessons out of those L's. I gave 2 fucks for the fake love. And I say that respectfully. But keep your eyes on your own paper. Ask the Creator, what's your assignment? Because this world, this whole planet is a big school. This whole universe is a university. And I graduated from the University of Truth. And I had to leave a whole lot of people behind in that high school mentality. Because this ain't no mean girl club. I can care what you wearing. I could care what you driving. I could care less what you wearing, what you driving, who you clicked with. Because at this point in time, it's crunch time. And I ain't in competition with nobody. A whole lot of people can forget they ever knew me. Respectfully. Because you don't down me for your come up, and you don't harm me for your greed. You ain't got to lie to kick it. You ain't got to chill just to build off of me. Not today. Whole different, sweetie. Whole different, Janetta. Still got that pure heart. I would never let nobody take that away from me. You can't make can't make my heart cold. Because I ain't messing up my blessings for nobody. I'ma live in pure bliss for eternity. Because I know me just being the good person that I am, I added time to a whole lot of people's life. Just being me. I love being to myself. I'm successful and peaceful. I was granted peace. A whole lot of people was granted money and certain things. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But when I found the leeway to have peace and to make memories with mine, can't nobody never take that success from me. If I done it once, I can do it again. But this time I'm coming in with more experience. Because those L's that people thought I was taking losses, no, those were just lessons. Giving me all the tools and the resources and the material to pass my tests. This test of life. And everything that I learned from people, places, and things, I'm going to apply it to what I'm building. So as I get to where I'm going, I don't owe nobody nothing. The only ones I owe is the ones that the Most High put into my space to look out for. That was on the upright with me. That supported me when people was throwing rocks and pinned me to that cross. Everybody else, you can continue to look in on the outside. And everything that I'm building, trust me, it's secured, it's sturdy, it's steady. Because it was built on a true, pure foundation. So it's going to be real hard for it to sink in the sand. You guys, be careful how you treat people. And ain't none of us perfect. You perfectly flawed. You can work on them flaws. But them insecurities is something else. Them insecurities starting to turn into mental illness for people. And ain't nobody got time for that.